Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. A few days ago, I posted a video on my channel about installing Xubuntu 24.4 LTS on a ThinkPad X230. Today, I'm going to share my thoughts on using it. Next, we'll take a closer look. A legendary combination in the Linux and retro computing community, the pairing of the venerable ThinkPad X230 with a modern, lightweight Linux distribution. Specifically, we're talking about Xubuntu 24.4 LTS, codenamed Nobo Numbat. Why this pairing? Well, the X230 is known as one of the last truly classic ThinkPads, built like a tank, incredibly serviceable, and featuring that famous keyboard. Xubuntu, on the other hand, is Ubuntu with the super efficient XFCE desktop environment, and 24.4 is the latest long-term support release, meaning it's stable and supported for years to come. The idea of this podcast is to find out how well this classic hardware will be able to run supported new operating systems in 2025. I was wondering if this old workhorse could still be a good driver for everyday tasks. Let's find out. Firstly, let's take a closer look at the star hardware of the show, the ThinkPad X230. This was launched in 2012 as part of Lenovo's X series. It's designed to be portable without being fragile or difficult to use. As soon as you pick up a ThinkPad X230, you can really feel how well it's been made. It's pretty solid with a magnesium alloy roll cage. The ThinkPad X230 might not be the thinnest or lightest laptop around these days, but it feels like it could take a beating and keep on going. The keyboard is a big hit with a lot of people. The X230 is a bit of a bridge model, moving from the old 7th RAW classic ThinkPad keyboard to a modern island layout. Some purists might like the old one better, but this keyboard on the X230 is still great. The key travel and the feel of the keyboard are both really impressive, and you could say it's one of the best laptop keyboards ever made, even by today's standards. It's great for typing long documents or coding. Let's talk about ports, because this is where older laptops often have an advantage over the newer ones. We've got loads of them on the X230i. It's got USB 3.0 ports, a mini DisplayPort, VGA, Ethernet, an SD card reader, and even an express card slot, which opens up expansion possibilities. So, under the ThinkPad X230's hood, you'll usually find an Ivy Bridge generation Intel Core 5 or A7 processor, support for up to 16 GB of DDR3 RAM, and either a traditional hard drive or an SSD, with an mSATA interface also available. The great thing about the X230 is that it's upgradable. You can swap out a 2.5-inch mechanical hard drive for an SSD, or keep the 2.5-inch SATA interface hard drive and add an mSATA interface SSD for better performance. It's also really easy to upgrade the RAM. The X series CPU is usually soldered to the motherboard though. The display is often seen as a bit of a weak point. It's normally a 1366 by 770 Hz D8TN panel. It can do the basics, but the resolution is low by today's standards, and the viewing angles are not great. There's a really good IPIS upgrade you can get, which will make a massive difference, but it's available even with a standard screen. So that's the hardware, a powerful, reliable, and still very strong machine, provided it has an SSD upgrade. Now, let's look at the composing system that's going to breathe new life into it. Well, the open source operating system that works with the X230 is Xubuntu 24.4 LTS. If you know your way around Linux, you'll probably have heard of Ubuntu. Xubuntu is an official derivative that uses the XFCE desktop environment instead of Ubuntu's default GNOME. So why go for XFCE and Xubuntu with a hardware like the X230? Well, XFCE is great because it's lightweight, fast, and stable. It uses way fewer system resources than desktop environments like GNOME or KDE Plasma, making it perfect for boosting performance on slightly older hardware like the X230. But it's not just lightweight. XFCE is also really customizable. You can tweak panels, menus, window, behavior, pretty much everything to make it look and feel exactly the way you want it to. It uses a traditional desktop metaphor that's easy and intuitive to use. Xubuntu now has access to Ubuntu's extensive software repositories based on Ubuntu 24.4. This means you can easily install thousands of applications using the built-in Software Center or the command line with apt. Browsers like Firefox or Chromium, Office suites like LibreOffice, media players, development tools, you name it, you can install it. Everything you need is just a few clicks or commands away. When it comes to LTS, that's long-term support. By the way, it's really important, especially for machines you're planning to use on the regular. 24.4 comes with 5 years of support for security updates and bug fixes, which means you'll have until April 2029 to get the updates. You install it now, and you're all set for a long time with no need to upgrade your system every 9 months. This makes them really stable, which is a huge advantage for working machines. So, we've got a rock-solid hardware platform and a lightweight, stable, and long supported authoring system. How do they perform when you put them together? This is where the magic happens. I have to say, running Xubuntu 24.4 on a ThinkPad X230 is a joy. First off, I'm impressed by how fast the boot time is, especially with the SSD. Logging in is a breeze. Once you're on the desktop, everything feels responsive. Opening apps like file managers, terminals, or web browsers is super quick. Multitasking was easy enough for most jobs. I can open a bunch of browser tabs, work on a document in LibreOffice, and open a terminal window all at the same time, and the system doesn't feel sluggish. The lightweight nature of XFCE combined with the SSD makes a huge difference. So let's think about how it would work in real life, for day-to-day use. Firstly, when it comes to web browsing, modern websites can be a bit of a drain on resources, but with Firefox or Chromium on Xubuntu, general browsing is no problem at all. You can stream 1080p video on YouTube without any problems. Secondly, on office work. LibreOffice works a treat. The X230 keyboard makes writing, working with spreadsheets, and creating presentations a breeze, and Xubuntu provides a stable platform. Third thing about media playback. You can watch videos or listen to music without any problems. VLC or the default media player can handle various formats with ease. And finally, on lightweight development or coding, if you're into scripting, web development, or coding in a language that doesn't need a lot of compilation resources, the X230 running Xubuntu is a great machine. The terminal is quick and code editors like VS Code or Geany work well. It's worth noting that there are still some limitations. For example, you won't be able to heavy video editing, run demanding games, or run multiple virtual machines at the same time. Integrated Intel graphics and older CPUs have their limits when it comes to graphics intensive or highly parallelized tasks. Installation was a breeze, and the standard Ubuntu installer worked like a charm. Most of the hardware components worked straight away, like the Wi-Fi, Ethernet, touchpad, keyboard, and webcam. I didn't have any major problems with the drivers. All in all, when it comes to productivity, web browsing, communications, and lightweight development, the ThinkPad X230 with Xubuntu 24.4 is pretty impressive. It's way more powerful than the hardware from over a decade ago. So let's quickly run through the good and bad points of putting together a ThinkPad X230 and a Xubuntu 24.4 LTS. So let's start with the good stuff. When it comes to the bottom line, the ThinkPad X230 and the free and open source Xubuntu are both great value for money. The X230 is way cheaper. When it comes to performance, It's really fast and responsive for everyday tasks, all thanks to XFCE and the Essential SSD upgrade. When it comes to build quality and the keyboard, the ThinkPad X230 has durable hardware for a great typing experience. When it comes to LTS stability, Xubuntu 24.4 is supported for 5 years. When it comes to open source, you've got the freedom, customization, and control of your operating system. When it comes to sustainability, Xubuntu 24.4 LTS is great for getting the most out of older hardware. So let's just talk about the things the pair didn't quite get right. Firstly, the screen is standard with below par display resolution and quality that doesn't meet modern standards. Then there's the battery life. The original battery is old and needs replacing if you want decent unplugged time. Next, the AG, it's old hardware, so don't expect it to compete with modern high-end machines in intensive tasks. And finally, a few possible tweaks. While it's mostly compatible, you might have to set some very specific hardware features manually, like a fingerprint reader, though these are less common these days. So, who's this setup best for? If you're a student who needs a reliable, durable laptop for note-taking and research, this one's perfect. If you're a writer who values a quality keyboard, this one's for you. If you're on a budget but still need a computer that works, this is the one for you. Linux fans and anyone keen to get to grips with Linux on high-performance hardware. People who are looking for a second computer for specific tasks. People interested in reducing e-waste by reusing hardware. And then there are people like me who love classic hardware and want to try to resurrect them. All in all, the ThinkPad X230 running Xubuntu 2024.4 LTS is more than just a nostalgic pairing. It's a really useful and powerful combination for 2025 and beyond. It shows that with the right software, older hardware can still be really efficient and fun to use. If you've got a ThinkPad X230 or are thinking of getting one, installing Xubuntu 24.4 LTS is one of the best things you can do to get the most out of it. It's efficient, stable, and provides an excellent user experience for anyone who doesn't need the latest and greatest for demanding tasks. What do you think of this combo? Have you tried using the ThinkPad X230 with Linux? Let me know in the comments below. If you like this podcast, please give it a like and subscribe for more great content like it. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.